Tottenham announced the signing of Martin Dúbravka, and Tottenham CEO Venkatesham comments talking to the fan advisory board. Here are your daily Tottenham news headlines. Hello everybody, hope you're well. Welcome back to the channel and to another edition of the Daily Tottenham News Headlines, where I'll be going through all the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. My name's Dorset Spur, and if you're watching on YouTube, please like, comment and subscribe to the channel. If you're listening on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. So let's get into it. Here are the main stories today. So, official club statement. We are delighted to announce the signing of Martin Dúbravka, a vastly experienced Slovakia international goalkeeper. He will join us on the 1st of July following the expiration of his contract with Burnley. Martin said, "It's an exciting time for me, a new journey and a new experience for me and my family. I'm looking forward to it. Everything moved pretty quickly and I'm really happy to be here. I've loved watching Roberto's teams over the years and know all about his style, vision and the fantastic fans here. Tottenham Hotspur is one of the biggest clubs in the Premier League and I can't wait to meet everyone and get started." Sporting director Johan Langer said, "We are delighted to welcome Martin to the club. He is a goalkeeper of proven quality at the highest level and his character and professionalism will strengthen the squad. Martin brings experience, leadership and consistency and aligns perfectly with what we are building here." Head coach Roberto De Zerbi said, "I'm very happy because Martin is a goalkeeper with big experience and a strong mentality. He has very important qualities for me and will bring balance, leadership and competitiveness to our dressing room." A third-generation goalkeeper following the footsteps of his father and grandfather, he started his professional journey with his hometown club, MSK Žilina. Progressing through the ranks, Martin helped the club secure 2 Slovak Super League titles as well as an historic maiden qualification for the UEFA Champions League group stage in 2010-11. Earning a move to Denmark in January 2014, he later headed the Czech First League to sign for Slovan Liberec, where his impressive performances caught the eye of the country's most decorated club, Sparta Prague, joining them in July 2017. A renowned shot stopper, is also adept with the ball at his feet. His first taste of the Premier League came in January 2018, joining Newcastle on loan, which then turned into a permanent that summer after a string of excellent performances in the Magpies' final 12 league fixtures. Ever present between the sticks for the Tyneside outfit across the following 2 seasons, he made an incredible 88 consecutive Premier League appearances and was named the North East Football Writers Association Player of the Year for 2018. Following further recognition came at the end of 2019-20 season as Martin claimed the club's Player of the Year award after recording the highest number of saves across the Premier League campaign, 140. Following a short spell with Manchester United during the 22-23 season, with whom he earned a Carabao Cup Winners' Medal, he returned to Newcastle United and went on to win the Premier League's Save of the Month award for January 2025. 2 months later, he was again a Carabao Cup winner as the North East side ended up a 70-year wait for a domestic trophy. Playing a key role in the success, Martin featured in goal for the semi-final fixtures against Arsenal, keeping a clean sheet in both legs. Martin's time with the team came to a close after 7.5 years in August 2025 as he joined Burnley on their return to the Premier League. Featuring 35 fixtures across the 38 league campaign for the Clarets, he secured a second Premier League Save of the Month award in the October in recognition of a remarkable stop against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Capped by Slovakia for 60 occasions, he made his senior debut in May 2014 as represented his country at 2 major tournaments, Euro 2020 and 2024. Fabrizio Romano, clear feeling on Mateus Fernandes deal as reported last week. He's ended up at the club bringing a best financial proposal to West Ham. Matthias has opened the doors for both Manchester United first and then Tottenham. It's now up to the clubs. Fabrizio Romano on Sandro Tonali. I stand by my information. Tottenham are working on a deal for Sandro Tonali. Tottenham and Tonali, many others are mentioning many things, many situations, many clubs. I respect that. But here you are hearing Tottenham and Tonali, Tonali and Tottenham. Deal on. So let's respect the parties that are working on the deal, and then we'll still see Tottenham are working on the deal. Tottenham CEO Venkatesham on leadership, governance and culture, talking to the FAB, as well as strengthening through senior appointments in football performance and operations off the pitch. Senior hires have been made in communications, marketing and restructuring commercial operations. Vinay highlighted a revised governance structure, including a clearer separation between the chair and the CEO roles, and a board with more non-executive than executive representation. This is intended to provide a right level of checks and balances whilst allowing us to move quickly. An executive team is now responsible for the day-to-day running of the club. The desired cultural shift is towards empowerment of talented staff across the club, prioritising football performance and rebuilding connection with the supporters, with the recognition that cultural changes takes time. Tottenham Hotspur CEO Venkatesham on the importance of rebuilding a connection with supporters and the challenges created by misinformation which can impact trust and belief. Whilst talking to the FAB, he explained a few examples. Roberto joined us because he believes in what we can do together as a team. He had no retention bonus. He has never asked for control over any decision making, and he has completely committed to the club if we were relegated. Johan played a critical role in his appointment. Roberto was always the number one choice, and we are delighted with the impact he has made so far. Peter grew up in England. Like all boys in England, he played football growing up, so stories that he doesn't know the number of players in a football team are insulting. Many of the stories of the links with players or regarding whom the club is trying to buy or sell are untrue, e.g. the club is not trying to sign Mason Greenwood. Stories in January about who the best paid player had become are a complete fabrication. On sporting directors, Venkatesham said the club has confidence in our people, but if we find someone who can complement our existing team and make it better, we will do that at the right time. And in a summer window is not that time. No one has been in a process and turned us down. Many names in the media linked with us have never even been spoken to. Players are not bought or sold because the club wants to or Roberto wants to. Johan and his team work hand in glove with Roberto to develop and deliver a joint plan. Finally, VV explained that the club are in a constant dialogue with the PGMO around refereeing standards and decisions. This is carried out privately and professionally rather than in the public domain. Venkatesham on rebuild and future direction, talking to the FAB. Venkatesham confirmed the current period as a rebuild rather than a short-term action. The rebuild is based on 4 connected priorities: success, squad, systems and standards. Success means building a team capable of competing consistently for major honours, a clear football identity. Squad means developing the right balance of quality, depth, resilience, leadership and potential. Systems means strengthening recruitment, performance, medical support, player development and football operations. Standards means creating a high performance environment with accountability, leadership, collaboration and the right culture and clear expectations. On decisions last season, whilst talking to the FAB, in response to questions from supporters representatives, he explained decisions taken last season on Thomas Frank, Igor Tudor and the January transfer window, outlining the factors considered in the approaches taken. He accepts that rebuilding trust requires honesty, clarity and visible progress over time to which the club is fully committed. Supporters should expect the rebuild to take more than one appointment, decisions or transfer window, whilst recognising the importance of the summer's window in particular. Significant work around that rebuild of the club has already begun, even if not all changes are immediately visible. Supporter input and constructive challenge are welcomed as part of that journey going forward. So just some thoughts on those stories. Obviously, Martin Dúbravka coming in. It seems to me that he's coming in as a number 2 or a number 3. If he's coming in as a number 2, then I am interested to find out what's going to happen with Brandon Austin. Of course, there's been lots of links for Vicario to be moving to Italy, so it kind of feels like Kinski will be number 1 next season, and Dúbravka will be coming in as a number 2. I'm not sure what that means though for Austin, whether he'll be going out the door or whether he'll be the 2 and Dúbravka will be the 3. It's an interesting one. It's not one to get excited about. Yeah, a decent goalkeeper can play as well. But at the end of the day, he's here as a backup and he's here to support. A little bit like Fraser Forster, when he came in, was here to kind of give us the numbers that we needed. So not one to get massively excited about. It's another free purchase. So we'll just see. I'm more interested in the other stories that Fabrizio Romano is talking about. Mateus Fernandes, apparently this is all down to which club provides the best financial deal to West Ham. Will that be Tottenham? Will that be Manchester United? Tottenham are probably in a better position in terms of being able to get that money together. So that one does feel like it's more likely. The one with Tonali, that keeps going, it keeps going, and Romano is pretty sure that this one is going to happen, but we'll see. There's been lots of other things tucked into the mix, and that's what he's saying. You know, he respects what other people are saying, but as far as he knows, Tottenham are working on a deal, and this is Tottenham and Tonali are talking to each other. So we'll just see where that goes from there. I won't go through each of the comments from Vinay Venkatesham. You can kind of make up your own mind about those comments. For me, I think it's all well and good being able to come out and talk to the fans and to the FAB when everything's sorted and you're starting to buy players and so on. The difficult time would have been when we were really going through it. It would have been good to have had some clarity around some of this stuff at the time when we were really struggling. So, you know, I'll let you make up your own mind about all of these. For me, I just want to see more clarity. I want to see more communication when things aren't going well. Like I say, it's interesting, you know, that he debunks a lot of these stories. You know, the issue of Mason Greenwood, for instance, and the fact that, you know, De Zerbi hasn't asked for some of the things that he's been quoted, and that they're working together to bring the players that are required to do it, to do the job. And personally, I never believed the story about Peter, I can't think what his name is. Him being the guy who didn't even know how many players played in a football team. That's absolutely scandalous comment and mischief making at its worst, I guess. But again, the one about the PGMO, again, I guess it's difficult to be able to talk about that stuff from a professional point of view, but it would have been nice to have known that those conversations were going on. So let's see what happens from that point of view. But as I say, if it starts going to pot next season, I want to hear from Venkatesham then, not at the end of the season once it's all worked out for the best. So anyway, listen, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, comment and subscribe to the channel. If you're listening on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. I'll see you on the next one. And as always, up the Spurs.